What's up, YouTube? It's Kenny again. Sitting here in Indiana, getting loaded. Load of marshmallows. I've picked up here several times. I like it because it's really light, so I don't have to, I know you don't understand, but I don't have to scale it out and stuff. And I don't really care about the fuel mileage because it doesn't affect me, but I do like the light loads. Wanted to make a video, talk about the market. Where I'm at, what I'm doing. There's just, you could pretty much buy anything right now, and it's just down so far. So, I mean, it's pretty useless to try to talk about specific stocks. But, as usual, I'm not a financial advisor. I'm just a truck driver driving across the country, researching and trading stocks, and I will not be held responsible for any moves you make in the stock market. Not ever. I'm not your mama, all right? Now hit that subscribe button for me. Mash on it. Like the video, and let me know, what are you doing right now as far as the market's going. Yeah, guys, I mean, I'm using this experience to try to learn some things. You know what I mean? My account's down. I mean, it's down. I mean, I'm still up overall as far as, when you look at how much money I've actually put into my account versus how much it's worth now. I'm still up, fairly significantly. But, from where my account was a few weeks ago, I'm way down, guys. And it hurts, it does hurt. But, I'm trying to just abide by everything that I've heard since I started trading, which is that you just don't sell during stuff like this. I'm just not going to do it. Now, like I've said in videos before, there are a couple things that I'm a little bit concerned about. There's a couple stocks I'm kind of concerned about, you know what I mean? Because there were risky plays in the first place before all this started. But some of them I'm more confident in. And I think there's an argument to be made in all this. Now, like I say, it's a learning experience for me. So we'll see what things look like in a month. But, this may be teaching me a lesson about maybe not going for some of these riskier plays and staying with stuff that's a little safer. We're just going to have to see what happens when things start recovering. I think it is going to be a good learning experience because I'm in some things that I am confident about, and I'm in some things that I'm not so confident about. So we're going to get to really see how this works, you know what I mean? These corrections. I haven't been doing this very long. You guys know that. And I know I get people in the comments every once in a while talking about, oh, you need to learn more. You don't know what you're doing and what, I'm learning. I mean, I'm here learning, and I'm hoping that other people are here and maybe can learn from the experiences that I'm having. And I'd also like to learn some things from you, I mean, as long as you're not commenting like a douchebag, you know what I mean? But I'd like to learn some things from you guys. I'm constantly trying to learn and evolve in this, But I'm hoping to learn some valuable lessons from this, even if I end up, giving back a whole bunch of my gains. I already have, but I haven't sold anything, so it's just on paper. One thing that I'm having a hard time, understanding really is that, take this morning, for instance. I can look at almost any stock in my watch list, and they all did exactly the same thing. And I don't understand that. I understand if it's stocks that are all traded in a whole bunch of index funds and stuff like that, they all hold them and stuff. But why some of these riskier stocks and SPACs and stuff that aren't necessarily held in a bunch of ETFs and stuff like that, I don't really understand why they are tracking things exactly the same. For instance, if you're looking at a bunch of stocks that are held in people's retirements and in ETFs and in mutual funds and stuff like that, maybe I could see how, because a bunch of people sold out of those funds that those stocks are a part of, how they could be all doing the same thing. But when I'm looking at stocks that I know aren't in a bunch of funds and stuff like that, like ZOM, Workhorse, SunPower. When I look at stocks like that I know that's not what's happening, like big funds selling off, and so it dropping in tandem with all these other stocks that happen to be in those same funds. I don't understand how they are acting the exact same as some of these other stocks. Like, if you look at the market today, everything fell until right about 10:15, and then everything starts moving back up. It seems manipulative to me. Like, I don't understand. Like, I don't really understand how that works, to be honest with you. Like, if anybody can explain why that is, because you tend to think that the whole market's red, so it's dragging everything else down, but I don't really quite understand how that works if people aren't like just trading every single stock, or if people aren't just if these stocks aren't like in some kind of a big index fund that's being sold off, and maybe it is like the Russell 2000, but man, I really don't know. I don't really understand how it works like that. Of course, there are a few stocks that didn't behave that way, but yeah, it's kind of confusing to me. With that said, I'm down. It's hurting. I know a lot of you guys are down and stuff too, and I'm holding through. I'm going to see what happens when everything starts to turn around, whenever that does happen. And hopefully I'm going to learn from it. And that's the way I'm looking at it. Man, the only thing I can do though is just sit here and watch it and wish I had another 10 grand to throw at it, guys. Like, I'm looking at some of these prices and I'm like, man, I wish I had a bunch of money to dump into stocks today. And they could still go down some more, but I still feel like, man, there's some really low prices right now. I mean, Arc Cave, I was looking at that, and TAN, and some of these ETFs that I've made money in are down like below prices where I made money on them months ago. And so, it's hard to sit here and watch. I mean, it's hard to watch my account move downward too, but it's even harder to sit here and look at these stocks down this low and I can't buy any of them. I would love to double down in a bunch of my positions right now, or you pick up new positions. There are just so many stocks that just feel like they're totally on sale to me. Like my whole watch list, the only ones that are really green are stocks that, like there's a bunch of these recovery stocks that are going green and stuff that actually I was in at one point pretty heavily that I still watch. But yeah, I mean, it looks like it's kind of turned around just a little bit since this morning. Like I said, about 10 things started coming back up. But man, guys, I just wish I had some money to buy a bunch of this stuff. But yeah, so I'm in a little bit of a situation right now as far as the truck's concerned. I woke up this morning and my power inverter was out. So that means I can't make coffee, I can't cook hamburgers, I can't warm up food. I can't do shit right now because of my inverter. And I don't know what happened. I made coffee yesterday morning. I didn't do anything other than that. I didn't, like, sometimes the microwave or the George Foreman grill will tax it and it'll make beeping sounds and stuff, but I didn't even use that yesterday. And then I woke up this morning and went to make my coffee and I had no power. And that was like 1 in the morning. So like 1:30 in the morning, I'm like out there trying to figure out what's going on with my inverter. So even though I pretty much just came off of home time a couple weeks ago, now I'm going to have to go back to Texas. And they're telling me that they're in a load going that way until Saturday. So also my APU has been giving me problems. It has a refrigerant leak that I've just kind of been dealing with because I hadn't needed AC. So that was my excuse to really tell them they got to route me back there. So because they could, sometimes they'll just be like, well, you're going to have to wait a minute on that inverter. And fuck that, you know what I mean? I'm ready to go back. So I told him I need to get my APU fixed and get the inverter fixed. And because these APUs, I have a special APU in this truck that's most of them are like a little generator on the outside that runs off of the diesel in the tanks. But mine is one that's only been out for a few years. It's actually a battery pack that powers stuff. And so there's very few places that can service them and work on them. So I pretty much have to go back there to get that one done, to get that fixed. And the inverter they only do at the yard. So I was kind of lucky to have had that, to be able to say, hey, I gotta get back to get this stuff fixed. And I'm actually thinking I'm going to decide between here and Texas. I'm thinking I may just tell them to take this dedicated and shove it up their ass, and I'm ready to go back on the road. Because, I don't know, I'm just not liking it, guys. It's just, I mean, the money is about the same, but it's not working out the way I thought, to where I thought I was going to be able to bust them in the head and get some $1,200-$1,300 paychecks in there too. And it hasn't worked out that way. And then plus I'm doing all these little short runs. And then like this last week, man, they've really had me like waking up 1 a.m. to make something and barely making it, and running all my hours down for the day. And it's going to be the same way today. I had to wake up at 1:30 to make that appointment. Then now I'm picking up another one. I got to run to Aurora. By the time I get there, I'll be just about out of hours. And I'm just getting sick of it. I'd rather, give me some 1,500-mile runs. I'm sick of these 200 and 300-mile runs. I'm sick of it. The pay just ain't worth it. So that's what I'm thinking. I'm not going to tell them that until I'm there. And then I'm also thinking I may go lease, guys. I got some tax issues I need to get straightened out. But I'm considering going lease. Lease, they pay you a percentage. You lease the truck from them. It's expensive, but you make a lot more money, so you can cover it. And then, by the time it's all said and done, you make quite a bit more money. So I'm considering doing it. And I know, there are some truck drivers on my channel. I know that everybody talks bad about lease programs, but the lease program here where I'm at is pretty decent. And I don't want to reveal what company I work for, because they'd probably frown on me making videos, and I just don't want to deal with anything related to that. So we're not going to ever go into what company I work for. But anyway, I'm thinking of a lot of things. I've been thinking of maybe buying a truck instead of buying a house, or I've been thinking about, maybe financing a house and buying a truck. I really haven't. My plan, my 5-year plan, is just constantly evolving. I have not nailed it down yet. So, but anyway, so that's what's going on with me, man. I got no electricity in the truck, so, I can't do all the things I normally do, and my APU is not really working correctly, so I'm fixing to have to be back in Texas and probably staying in a hotel room until they get it all sorted out, which hopefully is not too long. The last time something like this happened, it was like 5 or 6 days it took them to get it all sorted out. So we'll see what happens. I mean, they do pay me for it, but not as much as what I'll make running. So all right, well, that's a little update on what's going on with me, what I'm thinking about the market, how I'm feeling. Maybe I'll put something together for tomorrow and talk about some stocks that I think are really down, super low, and maybe really solid deals right now. But for now, I'm still in a holding pattern, and it's just is what it is. I'm sure a lot of you are too. Unless you got money. If you got money, man, dump it in, guys. Well, thanks for watching. Again, mash on that subscribe button, like the video, and talk to me in the comments. Thanks for watching.